you ready?
Hey, it's DJ from csvape.com. Today we're going to be talking about the OSub TC by SMOK. The OSub TC by SMOK. OSub 40 watt kit by SMOK features an internal 1350 milliamp hour battery in one of the most petite kits on the market. This kit also is paired with the Helmet Mini Tank, which features a hidden shaped airflow channel and will create a totally different vaping experience. The Helmet Mini has a capacity of 2 milliliters, is 22 millimeters in diameter, and is made out of stainless steel. The OSub is constructed with high quality zinc alloy, has a signature SMOK side panel firing button, and is temp control compatible. All right, so the OSub by SMOK, this is a very small, kind of like a, not necessarily an all-in-one, but it is a small device and it comes in a kit. So it gives you everything you need to use it. All you really need afterwards is your juice. You have the Helmet Mini Tank on top, and you have your OSub mod in general. You probably are already familiar with the SMOK side panel type firing button. They do that on a lot of their units. This whole side panel right here is your firing button. Now, if you want to look at the what's behind it, you can actually take this off, and this will show you the actual button. This is the button that's hidden behind the actual panel. And then you have your USB cable port in here. Now, it does say input 1 amp to 2 amps. So what it's looking like it's advertising is you are able to charge the battery, obviously, because it's built in. So it does tell you that right there. So it can handle 1 to 2 amps. So if you have an adapter that is a 1 amp or even a 2 amp, you don't have a really high chance of damaging the battery that's built in. On the bottom, this is not a button, this is just a magnet to keep the actual panel fastened to the unit itself. So on the side, you have the OSub TC name. On the bottom, you have your battery ventilation holes, as usual, which are absolutely needed. Designed by SMOK on the bottom, and it seems like these are serialized. In this case, it's 0100. That may not be a serial number, but right now it is saying 0100. On the top, you have your top airflow Helmet Mini. This is has a similar child lock or child-proof feature, just like the Ego AIO or the Ego AIO box kit. So if you were to spin this, nothing's gonna happen. You're just really adjusting your airflow at that point. But you actually have to apply pressure downward and then unscrew to remove the actual top cap off of the tank. So we're gonna do that now. And you can see that the coil is kind of like a Cubist style, but really, really big. It's like a Cubist coil on steroids almost. But you have your cup style tank. This is a leak-proof tank. It literally is compared to a wine glass or something I've mentioned in my other video is a glass with liquid in it, basically. There's nowhere for the juice to go. So it's not gonna go down, it's not gonna come out anywhere. The airflow is all focused on the top cap and hidden at an angle. So that's actually there to help assist flavor. So the coil that actually comes pre-installed into the tank, it's a 0.4 ohm coil. Now it does say that it's good between 20 and 45 watts. If you guys are already familiar, this is a 40 watt device. So but you can run this tank on other devices that you may own. You don't have to run this tank on this device, but it does come with it as a kit. Now, in order to unscrew this coil, you may have some trouble because if you were to unscrew it or try to unscrew it, it's just gonna keep spinning. As I mentioned before, you have to apply downward pressure to get past that child-proof feature and take the coil off. Just like this. Now this is the inside. These are standard Claptons, okay? So for those out there who are Clapton fans, these are good for aiding in flavor and dense vapor production. Now the 0.4 is the one you're gonna be getting the most performance from, I will tell you that, because of the fact that the spare coil that it comes with is a 1 ohm standard Clapton. So you have the range good between 15 and 35 watts. Now, 35 watts, in my opinion, is a little on the high side if you were to run that on a 1 ohm coil, but then again, you are using a Clapton, and Clapton coils can, they tend to aid to the cotton a little better than your standard coil that is there to, it may cause a scorch or it may burn it in general. So Claptons are always, they have that forgiveness, so you don't have to really worry about it too much, but you may not even find it comfortable to vape a 1 ohm at 35 watts, to be honest with you. Now, if you look on the, in the coil, there's an orange grommet in there. And from my understanding, it only comes in the 1 ohm coil. The other coil does not have it. Now, they don't really specify if these O-rings are needed or not, but I believe, in my opinion, that they are needed, because if you think about it, this one didn't come with an O-ring, but if you look at the bottom chimney, it's just metal. There's no O-ring in the middle of that chimney to seal up against the coil. So it would just be a leaking fountain, okay? So you need that O-ring on both coils. I'm not sure why the pre-installed one didn't come with it. Maybe just the one I have didn't come with it on the coil already. The one you get may have it on there already, but just if it doesn't, just be sure to put that on, because this acts like a gasket. So if this is pressing up against this, you're gonna create a seal, an airtight seal, and that's exactly how these tanks are designed. So make sure it's always present, okay? In my experience, you need that. Now, the menu system on this, very similar to the HPriv or the X-Cube. I mean, it's SMOK Tech. It's very similar on the chipsets. So the 5-button press will actually lock the device, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is if you were to keep it in your pocket or your purse, which, I mean, unless you have other things in your purse that may scratch it, I wouldn't do it, because you have this nice gold finish on the gold version. The black version has the polished, and stainless does as well. So you may not want to do that. But in any case, if it's nothing else in there that can scratch it, you may want to lock it so it doesn't fire on you by itself, because again, this whole side panel is the firing button, okay? So let's go ahead and unlock it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in order to get into the menu system, you actually press it 3 times instead of 5. 5 is locking, 3 is menu. So 1, 2, 3. You navigate with these buttons here. So this lightning bolt type thing is the mode. So you want to select it. And this is what switches you from wattage. Oh, sorry, I hit the firing button, 1, 2, 3. You go from wattage to temperature mode. Now this supports titanium, nickel, and stainless steel. So for those out there who like temp control, you can use this device on your nickels, titaniums, and stainless steels. It does not seem like it supports nichrome. So of course you can't use those coils. But let's go back into the menu, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna change this back to wattage mode. And the next option is the coil. Now we're gonna select that, and that's when you choose what type of coil you're using, titanium. If you're not quick with it, as you can see, it does change on you. So you do have to be kind of quick. So coil, titanium, stainless steel, and nickel. And then you set the the wattage and the TCR if you're familiar with that. For those who don't know what temperature coefficient resistance is, don't worry about it too much. You're not gonna lose sleep on it. So let's go to the next one, which is the indicator screen display. You can actually set the screen to auto sleep from anywhere between, let's see, looks like it's 10 seconds all the way up to, I don't know, I'm sorry if I'm blocking that, all the way up to, that's pretty high, 240 seconds. Okay, it seems like you cannot just keep the screen on all the time, which, why would you? I mean, little by little, it's very minuscule, but you will lose battery life. Let's go back into the menu again. The next one, the puffs, you can actually reset them. It's auto counts the puffs, okay? So like I said, as you can see, if you're not quick with it, it will change on you. So you have your reset button on the puffs. If not, it will just keep counting up and up and up. It doesn't bother much, but for those who like to count their puffs, you might want to, use that option to your benefit. Let's go back into the menu again on the next option, which would be the screen orientation. You can actually rotate it left or right. Depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, this may be helpful for you. 1, 2, 3 again into the menu. This is the arrow pointing to the coil. Now what this is and what they advertise, it may be efficient. I mean, I would play with it if I were you. Once you get it, to your house, play with it a little bit, because in the booklet, it does advertise that this is how you can set the resistance. Now, from what I understand, the resistance is already set with this coil. Okay, you got the 0.4 and the 1 ohm. Anything after that, I'd say definitely just use your best judgment, play around with it, and just be careful, because you may or may not burn your coil if you're, excuse me, playing with this feature. The next option would be the power off. You can select these buttons to go on and off, and then you can just turn it off. That's it, tells you smoke, and it says goodbye. But yeah, this is the OSub TC. It comes in your option of black and gold. As you can see, this is my favorite color, gold. You got your 2 coils, spare O-rings. Comes in your options of black and brushed stainless steel. You can check these OSubs and other SMOK Tech products on csvape.com. My name is DJ. We're here to help you switch the habit.
Switch the habit at csvape.com.